We are joining you today on a nice and warm Saturday afternoon where I can say that because I'm coming from England. And what better way to kick off the weekend with rising lightweight out of Clan Wars, Mr. Macavelli, Aaron McDonald. How are you?
I'm doing good, sir. How are you?
I'm not bad. I'm not bad. And the first thing I've got to ask is where does this nickname come from? Because it's pretty fucking cool.
Oh, Machiavelli. Well, basically, I'm a big avid Tupac fan. So he actually named himself Machiavelli before before he died and stuff. So his name was actually called Machiavelli. But I actually have started reading a book called The Prince, and Machiavelli was a philosopher back in the day. So just basically it was all about deceiving and sort of like all stuff like that, using just tactics to basically, and I'm basically bringing that into the MMA game.
Nice. I mean, was that just the only choice you had, or you just kind of, oh, I'm going to look at other philosophers, other nicknames, all of that, or I'm going straight with Machiavelli?
Well, because I'm a Tupac fan, and I think the Macavelli was great, but the fact that it is, my name is Aaron McDonald, so Aaron Mac, all my mates call me Mac, so I've changed it a wee bit, so it's MAC instead of MAK, so Machiavelli. So now I'm Aaron Macavelli.
How did that come about? You just kind of, you like say like I'm not McDonald, it's Machiavelli. Like when you go bowling, when you type in your names, you're just putting Machiavelli up, and they're like, who's that? It's like, oh, I'm Machiavelli now.
Oh, that's it. Everyone's calling me Macavelli now. Sure, as I said, I joined the new team, and all the boys call me Macavelli now. So it's stuck. It's there. I can't get rid of it now. So it's my own doing now.
Yeah, I mean, it's certainly a pretty cool nickname. And I've got to ask, past year you haven't fought in a year, all under COVID. What's COVID like at the moment in Northern Ireland, and how have you adjusted to it?
Well, basically, I think because of it's the different regions. I think with England, I think Northern Ireland, they're doing their own wee thing. So I think our lockdown is actually extended until April or something. But in terms of my training and stuff over the past year, it's been tough. I'll be honest with you, it's been tough because I've changed a new team. I've changed a new team and stuff while the lockdown was happening. But because I'm an elite fighter, I've been in a bubble with the other pros in the gym. So I've been still able to get my training in. When the proper lockdown hit after my last fight, I was actually supposed to be fighting for a lightweight title in Northern Ireland. And that was supposed to be in March, but then the lockdown hit, I think. So I fought in February 29th, 2020, or 28th February. And then I think literally a month after the lockdown was starting to hit, wasn't
it? Yeah, March it all kicked in.
Yeah, and I was literally, I was guns blazing, man. I was on a rocket ship, and I had a lightweight title ready to go, and I was going to get another title shot with Clan Wars and stuff. But then the lockdown happened, so it basically it just all went to shit. So but basically I still kept the training up. I was still running, still doing my thing. The gym had closed for a while. I was still getting my work in, but not the best work I could get in, basically. But since now the what are we on now? So since about October, November, I've been flat out. So I basically just had this sort of, I know my family's been affected by COVID and all. So I had to sort of try and pretend. Now I know it's really bad what I'm about to say, but I had to pretend like it wasn't going on because I couldn't let it affect my training or my thing. I know that might be selfish, but when it comes to fighting, I think you have to be a little bit selfish, or else you're just gonna. I don't think you're gonna make it if you're not a little bit selfish. So, I had to be a little bit selfish and keep on training, keep on doing what I was doing. Obviously, I've abided by the rules, worn my mask and stuff like that. But yeah, man, I've basically kept it going.
And you mentioned you train camps, you haven't fought in a year. Is that sort of been a bit unmotivating to you, or have you managed to find new methods to keep your motivation up?
Well, I'd be lying to you if I was to say I didn't lose the motivation, because I did lose a wee bit of motivation because I was on such a big incline. I was doing so well. I fought 3 times in the space of 5 months. I fought a Muay Thai fight in Thailand. I fought in Kuma in Northern Ireland in the November, just before the February. Then I went and fought in Clan Wars in the February. So in the space of 6 months, I had fought 3 times. And I got like 4 rounds. I went to 4 rounds, finished your boy in Thailand. I went 3 rounds. I went to decision in the Akuma one, and then I went and finished your boy in the one in February. So I was in such this, like, I was just like booming, like I was just booming. So when the lockdown hit, it was sort of just like, oh, right. So what do we do now? You know what I mean? And also due to the fact that I had left university, I graduated from university that summer before. So basically, as I said just before I was talking, I put all my eggs in one basket for this MMA game. I had left Liverpool to go home to Northern Ireland to focus on MMA and basically to put all the eggs in one basket. And so for the lockdown to come in, it sort of did hit me up the face. It sort of hit me up the head. You know what I mean? Like the fact that you know, I was always had this structure and always had this plan. Like I was going to university, I was still training, everything. And that's what my life's always been. If it was I was always in education. I was always training for, like, say, football or soccer or whatever, you know, Gaelic football. And then when I came out of uni, it was like boom, straight into fighting. Bam, 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 fights. And then lockdown hit, and I was just like, all right, well, what do we do now? So it was pretty. So I'll admit the motivation sort of stifled. It was sort of all over the show, but just family and friends sort of basically just like kept me motivated and stuff. Like, and my brother had a kid, and that was motivation for me as well. Little Tobias, so we're a new addition to the family. So that was just certain things, motivation, and I got motivation from that. And mate, I never stop training anyway. I'll always be training, so it's one of them things.
And you mentioned putting all your eggs in one basket. You know, you've been fighting in Thailand, moving from Liverpool to Northern Ireland. So you've been in this sport for quite a while. And what's the biggest thing that shocked you about it, getting into it?
Well, because I've come from, you know, I've played soccer and Gaelic football all my life. So coming into the MMA world, it was a bit different. Now, don't get me wrong, like, the first time walking into an MMA gym was a wee bit scary, a wee bit nervous. Let's be honest. Like, I'm not going to act the big man here. Like, it's scary. So it's definitely a different environment. However, when it comes to football and it comes to any other sports, it's a competition. So I was able to make the transition into MMA quite easily because I'm so used to competition. I've competed all my life. My dad still to this day holds the Northern Irish record for the triple jump. So it's in my blood. Competing is in my blood. So transitioning over to MMA, it wasn't like, I didn't really see any like differences or anything. Like, obviously because I'm going into a combat sport, it was different. But like, in terms of just competing and the way I hold myself and the way I train, that's why I like MMA, because I think it's a proper sport. People think it's just a cage. You're two men in a cage just beating the life out of each other. No, there's so much that goes into this sport. And another thing, actually, the big thing is that, see, the training that you have to do for MMA. See, compared to these other sports, I mean, MMA is the one. Like, you know what I mean?
I mean, yeah, 100%. It's hard, man. It's tiring. And as you said, you're training on Sundays now. So if that doesn't show how hard it is, who wants to train on a Sunday?
I don't.
Yeah, exactly. And obviously, we can tell by the accent mentioned before, from Northern Ireland. And you know, we've seen a lot of great fighters come out of Northern Ireland and Ireland. Do you think there's a sort of stigma around Irish fighters because of people like McGregor and Gallagher? And does that kind of, do you think there's pressure on like a type of personality that you have to be if you're an MMA fighter from Ireland?
Yeah, I'd say so. I think so, because obviously you have the likes of McGregor, James Gallagher and stuff, and they sort of have their ways of the way they portray themselves. Maybe one's a wee bit like the other, but apart from that, like, yeah, I don't really know how to answer that, because I don't really want to do my own boys in, like, you know what I mean? But I do see it. I do see a lot of people trying to get on like it. Probably people say I try and get on like it, but I'm just crazy, and that's the way I get on. Like, you have to be right. So basically, you have to be confident. You have to be cocky, I think. And well, you have to be, if that's the way your personality is. But if you're trying to be confident or you're trying to be cocky, like, and that's not you, then it's never going to work out for you. Like, look at Kobe Covington. But that's a different, that's a whole different stick. You know what I mean? Like, you know, he's putting that on. You know what I mean? And I think he knows, he's putting it on, like the WWE thing. But in terms of like the Irish and people trying to sort of be like them, I would say so, because I do see it a lot. I do see a lot of people on their posts on Instagram and all. It's like, it's basically like they're using the same lines like McGregor has used in some of their, like in some of his like fights or whatever, interviews and stuff. And I'm just like, mate, why are you using like some other person's lines? You know what I mean? Like, be yourself, bro. But I do think there is a wee bit of a pressure to be like out there, but at the end of the day, when it comes to the fighting, your fighting's going to show your skills. You know what I mean? Like, if you're going to go on the Instagram and talk shit and then not fight and stuff, like, people aren't going to really care. It's when you actually go and do this, walk. If you want to talk, you have to walk a walk. You know what I mean? So, you can carry on like a dick on Instagram or whatever all you want, but you got to go and fight, and you got to go and prove to the fans, to the MMA community, that you're worthy enough to be seen as a great in Irish MMA.
I mean, in a certain way, is that sort of something positive, because you get to show, because, people look at McGregor and Gallagher and like they say, oh, they're cocky, but in another way, is that just how Irish people are? And when you see them, and like, it kind of makes you proud to like be Irish, because you can just kind of be yourself. Yeah. Like, this is who I am, take it or leave it.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I think so. Now you're gonna probably laugh, because a lot of people think that James Gallagher actually gets on like McGregor a wee bit, but then again, I always say this: the thing about James Gallagher and Conor McGregor, James Gallagher was trained with Conor McGregor for how long?
Yeah,
like they've been
quite well, yeah.
Like, so he's been like training him since he was young, and then like, so he's been watching Conor McGregor. So obviously you're obviously going to be a wee bit like him. You know what I mean? Like, so when I see people make those sort of comments about that, I'm just like, well, what do you expect? He's been watching this guy since he's no age. You know what I mean? So it's going to be like that. But yes, Irish people are Irish people are confident. They can talk. They've got the gift of the gab, as they say. But confidence in MMA is a big thing. Because if you don't have confidence and you're going in there nervous and shaking out of your boots, like, someone's going to take advantage of that. So you've got to be confident. Confidence that I can confident. Terry Atlas, I was watching a wee podcast, and Terry Atlas does a podcast thing. And he was saying, like, I think he was saying, like, when it comes to the fight, it's like 80% mental, 20% physical.
Yeah.
So there you go. Like, so if people think all the Irish boys are cocky and confident, then, you know what, we'll just jump on the bandwagon and just all act all confident and cocky. You know what I mean?
I mean, you spoke about the mental thing there, and like, when you watch fights, obviously, because you are a fighter, can you sort of see it when someone's like, they're mental, they're just gone, or can you kind of tell someone's mental state, or is it hard because they just have such a good poker face?
No, I in my last few fights, I've watched their face. You can see their eyes. You can tell in their eyes. Actually, sorry, I see even before the fight. Actually, I'm giving out all my wee things here. Yeah, I can't say no more, but it's Machiavelli stuff. That's what I'm telling you. Deceive. But what is it I said? Believe, deceive, achieve. I shouted out in my last fight. I go believe and achieve. Sound a wee bit, But anyway, now it's believe, deceive, then achieve.
I love that. And obviously you're fighting in March, and as you said, you're in lockdown. So what are you more looking forward to? Getting in the cage after a year, or the end of lockdown?
Jeez, that's a tough one. I see. Do you know what the thing is? I love socially interacting with people and stuff. I like talking to people, and like, I don't know. I like just doing me small stupid things. I think it's good for you. So like messing out. Like I was in town there earlier, and like it was like a ghost town, and it's just I was going to Holland and Barts just to get a few vitamins and stuff, and it was a complete ghost town, and it's just it's a wee bit weird. But on the other hand, I cannot wait to get in that cage, mate. See, get in that cage, mate. It's like a happy place for me, mate. I know it sounds crazy, but it's like I feel free in there, mate. I don't know. I feel free in there, and like I'm a thinker, you know what I mean? I like reading, I like thinking, like I think about all these different mad things. I like reading. So when I go into that cage, mate, I'm just like, my mind is empty. I'm going in there like I'm going in there like it's not even me. It's like it's like third person or something. I got my last, like I've finished like I've had like every finish that I've had, it's been like on autopilot. It's been like automatic. Like I've been like, what's happened? You know what I mean? So yeah.
Yeah, so sorry to interrupt that. And obviously, you mentioned Thailand, so that must have been a great experience training there. And obviously,
Yeah.
you're still amateur, you're still doing your thing. You've just recently moved camps, but going to places like Thailand, does that kind of make you think, oh, there's more of the world out there to like explore, maybe like train in different ways? So kind of, do you see yourself ever going out there for like a period of time and training there for a fight?
In Thailand?
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. Well, that's the thing. I actually had, so after my last fight in February, I had Thailand booked. I was going to go and fight again because I won a belt in Thailand. Now, in Thailand, it's a wee bit like, obviously, it's a wee bit, it's a bit mad in terms of the fighting. So, like, you're just turning up and you're just fighting anyone, really. Like, so, and I've had 3 fights over there. So, I got to fight for a belt in my last one there. And, so I was just like, they were like, do you want to come over and fight again, fight for the belt again and all stuff? And I was like, yeah. And they were going to help me out with my training and stuff and all in the Muay Thai gym that I was training in. But I'd actually booked to go over, and what was the team I was going to train? Top Team. It was Phuket Top Team I was going to go train with, but I was going to still stay in the Muay Thai camp that I had been with before. And I had that booked for April 2020. So I was actually going to go back out there to do another fight and to do another camp. So I wanted to go in and come back from Thailand and then go and fight for like a lightweight title in the summer, say, or something. But obviously lockdown stopped all that. So here we are, back to now we're in 2021. Feels like 2020 feels like, I don't even know. It's gone. It's just the years just disappeared.
I know. We talked about your time in Thailand. Just quickly, you managed to ride an elephant.
Did I? No. I swear to God, see, when I went there, like I trained like an absolute mom. I was training 3 times a day. I was running in the morning. Like I was living the monk life. We did go and see all the monkeys and the monks. I did go and see the elephants, but I didn't get in one. I didn't have time. I was training too hard.
Do you reckon what do you think the quickest way to knock one out is?
Pardon?
What do you think the quickest way to knock one out is if you had to? If an elephant's charging at you, what are you doing?
Man, I'm running. I don't know what I'm doing. I'm not even going to try and fight that thing. Maybe like, nah, mate, no chance. I'm getting out of there.
Just a slip hook.
Slip hook, run. Get on your bike.
I mean, from your time in Thailand to your upcoming fight, March 2021, it's been a while. Your opponent, former title challenger. What else can you tell me about him?
Well, Mr. Jordan Danning is my opponent for March 21st in Clan Wars 40. Well, I can tell you a lot about him because I study my opponent. Like, I do a lot of homework on my opponent. I'm still an amateur, so like I don't really focus that much. But well, people tell me not to focus that much, but I do. I study. I do my homework, mate. Like John Jones and all was talking about this and all. Like they study their opponents like mad. So I want to be a professional MMA fighter. I want to be the greatest MMA fighter in the lightweight division. So I feel like that I need to be acting as if I'm a professional now, so that when I become a professional, it's already there. It's already happened. It's like I'm already in it. Like, you know what I mean? So it's like, what was the question for what?
Just asking me what you can tell me about him. Obviously, not.
Oh, but Jordan, what was I went on the professional. Oh, Jordan. Well, Jordan, by studying the opponent. Yeah, so I've basically studied Jordan. I've studied all his fights. He's got a wide spectrum of skills in the MMA field. So he's got his judo, he's got his kickboxing background, he's got his jiu-jitsu, he's a good experienced fighter. However, I just think at 155 pounds, mate, these boys can't take my punches. And that's not me. I'm not being cocky. I'm just saying, like, mate, if I hit you, I was hitting boys at welterweight and they couldn't take my punches. Like, so at 155 pounds, mate, like Jordan, this is coming from my studying. I don't think he's going to take my power. It's going to be a fun night for me. So it's gonna be a knockout in the second round, I think.
Well, it's a good prediction, and obviously,
I said sorry. Can I just say something? I said first round, but after doing a little bit of homework and after a few wee plans that I'm gonna do, but here I'm Macavelli, so you don't know if I'm talking shit or not. Oh, sorry, 2 seconds.
No worries.
We're back on.
There you go. And we're talking about, obviously, you're full of confidence, which is rightly so. He's a formal title challenger. So beating a guy like this, does that really give you the momentum you need to maybe even turn pro in the near future and just be like, okay, now I've got this?
Well, yes, actually, I actually made that comment last night to my mate. I just said to him, like, look, this boy's he's fought a good amount of people. He fought for the Clan Wars belt. I think it was like 4 or 5 shows ago in Clan Wars, so it wasn't that long ago. So he's fought good competition. I think he fought Carl Gallagher, who's I think he's a really good jiu-jitsu practitioner. So he's fought good people. And once I get this win against him, for me, I personally feel like, you know, it says a lot where I am. I do feel like I do need. I want to get a title. I want to get the title. I want to get the Clan Wars lightweight title. So maybe another fight or two. See what my coach says. It's always don't want to be down to my coach anyway. In terms of going pro, but mate, I want to get this. I want to get this rocket ship going even faster, mate. You know what I mean? So I'm enjoying, but as I said, you have to enjoy the journey as well. So the pro thing, it's there. I know I can knock out some pros in the lightweight division anyway already. So, you know, so they can get some when it comes, like. So I'll go and get a wee lightweight title here now, and then we'll see what Seb says. But I'd love to be maybe seeking a wee professional contract here at the end of the year, if all being well with the lockdowns and all that stuff. But I mean, I see myself as elite. I see myself as an elite athlete. So, you know, I'm just making my way through, getting the experience in the octagon, and then seeing where I can go from there. You know what I mean? But I do believe that I'm just on the brink of going pro. But get me a title. I want the title. I want a title around my waist. You know what I mean, for amateurs, because I don't want to go up to the pros without a title. So Clan Wars, when they're listening to this year, Paul's listening to this and after, and once we get this out, just know that I'm ready. And whoever wins that lightweight title, because there's the lightweight title being fought for on the day before mine, which I should be fighting for. But anyway, so I'm gonna have a watch at them too. However, I think whoever gonna win that title, I think they're gonna go pro. So I think that it's gonna go vacant. We'll see what happens. But I think whoever's gonna win that title is gonna go pro. You know what I mean? Because basically, once you win a title in amateur, there's not really much you can do. You know what I mean? You can't, like, what if you want to win an amateur title, then say win an amateur title, and are you not ready for the pros? Well, you should be ready for the pros. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and with that being said, does 2021 mean the year of activity for you?
It's the year of Macavelli, Zach, mate.
Oh yeah, but it's got the activity as well, as long as Macavelli.
Well, as long as there's competitions, mate, and like, look, I'm seeing competitions being announced in England and stuff as well for May and no, maybe not May, but sorry, June. I can't remember, like some summertime anyway. So, mate, see if they do extend lockdown again, mate. I don't know. I'm just gonna have to get my flight to Thailand, but then you got a 14-day quarantine in Thailand.
Yeah.
So you got a 14-day quarantine and 14. So there's a month missed.
So yeah, that would. I don't think that's going to really help you out there.
No, mate, you'd lose a month. So and basically, I was just going to try just get fights out there if the lockdown was going to happen again. But Clan Wars seemed to have a really good thing going here with the promotion, with the elite fighters, and I'm hoping that they have another few shows here throughout the year, and I can keep active. And if there's any other shows out there, you know, you want a wee bit of the Macavelli on it, like, so you can have it, like. But you know what I mean, the 155-pound King's coming, the second coming is here, like. So let's see what happens, Zach.
Let's see. And a lot of good fights create good momentum. And you're definitely one person to know about a lot of momentum, a lot of hype, and it's warranted, certainly so. Do you kind of see yourself as like a hype train? Do you even like that term, or do you just push that to the back of your
Well, you know what? I just take it as like just words, isn't it? Yeah, just take it as just words, because if you start sort of believing and all that there, you can sort of get in, like, your ego can get in the way. Maybe you can get so, like, sort of, like, remember I was saying about cocky and confident, you can get overconfident, over cocky. So you might miss training or whatever, or stuff like that. So whenever I see stuff like that, I actually like it. It's good crack. It's good crack. So to me, it's all part and parcel of the game. If people want to talk about me like that and say I'm the hype train, well, do you know what? Let's all jump aboard the hype train, mate.
I love to hear it, and I don't want to look too ahead because I know you're still fighting.
No.
Too ahead.
Yep.
But you're a lightweight. Lightweight divisions in all the promotions at the moment are absolutely popping off. And if you just got a blank check, a blank fight request, and you could fight any lightweight fighter, who would that be?
Oh shit. Well, obviously, what is it that they say, when your idols become your rivals? So if you work that one out, we can see that, but that'll never happen. But in terms of now, like, in terms of what, like, are you talking big?
Anyone. It could be anyone you want.
Anyone? Let me think. Do you know who I love to fight?
Go on.
Paddy the Baddy.
Yeah.
Paddy Pimlet, yeah. Because obviously, remember I said I started off in Next Generation. I didn't start off. I started MMA in Liverpool. And one of my first ever sessions was in Next Generation MMA in Liverpool with Paddy the Baddy and the likes of them boys. So, you know, I started my MMA game there. So I'd like to see if I can test my skills and see where I'm at now. Because Paddy the Baddy is he's one of the biggest, and well, not, he sort of hasn't really been doing much now, but I'd love to fight Paddy the Baddy.
Yeah, that'd definitely be a good fight. What about anyone in like UFC Bellator? Is anyone like Michael Chandler? That's at the moment him right now. I'm the biggest fan of him at the moment. So someone like that, how do you see yourself matching up against the top?
Well, like, with the top boys now, give me a couple of years. Now, I'm not going to get ahead of myself now. Let's get ahead of ourselves. Like, but like, see, like, that their sort of style, like that Michael Chandler, I'll have that all day. Even though people like what he did to Dan Hooker there, that was actually amazing, wasn't it? Was it the lead hook?
Yes, I think so. Yeah, it was the right.
It was the lead. Yeah.
It was the duck under on the right.
Yeah. So I love fighting those, like, sort of like them, these small guys, you know what I mean? So I'd this big keep to the face or front kick to the head or something, mate. So, you know what, mate? I want to fight the best. Like, I mean, I didn't get in this sport to just, like, you know, just paddle just through it, fight just any, or like just be an amateur and just get like a wee title, or go to pro and be a journeyman. Like, I came here to do the best that I can do, and what I believe I can do is I can get to the UFC. And so when you're actually saying that, like, you know, who do you believe that you are, who would you like to fight? Well, like, when I say that, I don't want to start speaking words out into the universe, because I think that someday, that, like, one day I will be fighting these people. So you know, I don't want to get ahead of myself, but as I said, I like to think, I visualize, I do all sorts of stuff like that. I see all this stuff all the time when I'm watching the UFC, and I'm like, what can I do if I was fighting him? You know what I mean? Like, obviously, I know I'm not at their level yet, nowhere near their level. I'm at the bottom of the pile, man. I'm making my way up, but that's good. That's the journey, man, and I love it, and that's what gives me so much excitement. That I'm still young. I've got so much. I've got a major future ahead of myself in this game, and I believe that I can. I believe I can be in the UFC, and I believe that I can be a UFC world champion in the lightweight division. And for any other fighters that are coming into the game now, I believe that you have to have that same mental attitude, because if you don't, you're not going to get anywhere in the sport. Because there's people like me who have this mental attitude, who have this fire burning in them, that all they want to do is succeed and achieve greatness in the sport. So I think you have to have this mental attitude. And if you don't, I've actually met some people that don't have that, and they're like zen, they're like calm, they're like it's quite scary, it's quite freaky. It's like, dude, you're so calm, mate. But I don't think they actually still think like me. They because then maybe they think like that's ego talking or something, but I don't. I just believe that like sometimes you have to use your ego, but use it. It's like Machiavelli says, you have to use it for your own good and for like people say. Like, I remember my dad was saying, "But sure, Machiavelli's not is he not all bad, no?" But then what I learned from all that stuff, the Machiavellian and all that the stuff was that like if you're using it for good intentions for yourself, then what's wrong with that? Like I'm not gonna like MMA game. I'm gonna try and knock out someone, right? So people might think that's bad, but I'm in a competition. This is my sport. I want to go in there to save this man, so I can go and be a winner. You know what I mean? So I'm doing this for myself. So when I say, "Oh, it's Machiavelli to see," people are like, "What's he on about?" That's what I'm on about. I'm deceiving. Like I like certain wee trick. I'm learning. I'm watching certain like. I'm watching like old school like MMA, like old school like karate and stuff, and like they do certain feints and tricks, and that's all deceiving. You know what I mean? So if you're doing that, and if you're doing that, then if you're bringing that into the MMA game, and like Israel Adesanya, all his feints, all comes off. Like most of his strikes and his knockouts come off him feinting and doing stuff like this and stuff. The hand movement, the legs, the hips. So that's all deceiving in my eyes. You're deceiving your opponent. So that's where I get all that Machiavelli stuff, because I think you have to deceive your opponent to get the win. And I believe that you have to have that attitude. Maybe not what I'm saying about the Machiavelli and deceiving. Maybe that's just my angle. But in terms of believing in yourself, like it's a must.
Yeah, and you spoke about the art of deception there, and there's a lot of key elements that can go into building an MMA fighter. In your eyes, what is the most fundamental core someone should have if they want to be a fighter?
The belief and the ability to work hard and not give up. Now, I feel like I've got a lot of athletic attributes, so it was easier for me to make the transition into MMA. But I've seen boys that who you could just push over. They had no strength, they had no power, but they worked hard. They believed in themselves, and now they're doing brilliant. So basically, it comes down to sorry for that, sir. I basically comes down to belief and hard work, and that's really all. It's really all it takes, I think. Because if you're not working hard and you're not believing in yourself, then where are you going to go?
So what? Let's say end of the year, you've only got one of these two options. Would you have a Clan Wars title or for Northern Ireland to win the Euros?
Well, I don't.
I don't
Did
even know if
Northern
you
Ireland get?
qualified actually.
We did. We didn't. We
Oh,
did, lad. and then I see. I'm lucky, right? See, I'm part and parcel. I don't. I support. I've got two chances to get in the Euros. I've got Republic of Ireland and I've got Northern Ireland. So, but both didn't get in. So no Euros for Macavelli.
any chance you support England or you can't?
Oh, do you know what? Do you know what? I don't know. No, I see. I hate all that stuff. Like I grew up in a. I've had my fair share of all that. Because obviously the Irish history and stuff in English. So I never try and get it. I never try and get myself involved in any of that, because I just think I think it just makes you hateful inside. I think it's thing. But however, there is a lot of people who get all like that in Ireland. But I don't care. But to say anything, I'll not be supporting England. I'll not be supporting England. But I do like watching England because I do like some of their players. So I like watching England because I hope will Jack Grealish be on the team? I love Jack Grealish.
You've got to be a big fan of Declan Rice as well, because he's Irish. He played.
Oh, he played for him, but then sure he went and he traded us. He went to England. Sure, he played a few games for us. Then went to England. But then sure at the end of the day, like I said, man, like that's a bit like Machiavellian. You know what I mean? What he done. Because he was just like, I'm not going to get to a Euro final spot. I'm not going to get to a World Cup final spot with that Ireland team at this point. Maybe I hope Ireland do get to the Republic of Ireland do get to the World Cup or Euro final and we get a cup one day, maybe. But I don't think so. But anyway, so he had to use the Irish youth teams at the time, because I think that's what they do. I think that's what they all do. So basically, some of them were probably playing for, say, like the Republic of Ireland youth squads, because they weren't able to get into the England youth squads. So they used the their grand there, their whatever, and then they get good, and then they go back to England, and then they play for England. But then again, sure, you look at the Republic of Ireland squad, they have a few English players, like what do you call him, who played up front for Ireland. He played for Stoke. He's a hard man up top. He doesn't play anymore. He's hard. He's a hard man.
He's on the tip of my tongue. I know you're on about.
Yeah.
I
can't remember. My head's. I see, mate. See, because I'm going with Team Torres now, boy. These boys are punching ahead of me, so they're giving me hard work. So my memory's gone. But sure.
I've got no excuse. I've got no excuse for forgetting.
Yeah, you have no excuse.
Yeah.
But go ahead.
Oh no, I was going to say, got to ask, talk about lots of fighting. Fighting happens all over the world. Let's say you're in the Colosseum in Rome as a gladiator. What's your weapon of choice and why?
Oh God, that's a serious question. But do you know what? See, the first thing you said, like when you started talking, I was like axe, like axe or something, just so they could throw it at them.
That's quite popular, you know. Everyone says.
Oh, is it?
I don't know why, because if you throw it, then you've got nothing else.
Oh, well, you've just done me over, mate. Well, right, so right, can I have another go?
Oh, of course, man.
Right, well, man, I don't know, mate, because then you just have to have a sword, then, aren't you?
Yeah, you could. Yeah, sword and shield. I think that's the safest option.
Yeah, big sword and shield. That's the one there. Yeah, big sword and shield. I'll have the axe because I was just that's literally what I was thinking. I'm just throwing the axe at them.
Yeah, I think you've got to back yourself though. If you're picking an axe, that's a proper big decision. That.
Yeah, like you need to be about 6'4", big, massive, just a big tree hugger, just smashing that axe about.
Yeah. I think sword and shield's best option. I can't remember who said it, but I think spear. I think Michael Chiesa said spear. That'd be a good one.
That would be a good, but then what? In the Colosseum, how many people were fighting in this Colosseum? Like
it depends. It depends who comes out. You never know. You can beat someone up. A lion comes out.
I just want to say, like a lion might come out. Like the spear might be good for the lion, but like if there's a couple of them all run that day and you've only got one spear, like I don't know. You know what I mean? Michael Chiesa, bad decision, mate.
Yeah, no one cheats and says a gun. So
I know. Was there? Nah, that wasn't gun.
No.
What about the thing, the ball and the chain and then like the?
He literally. I was speaking to Everton Oliveira, coach at American Top. He literally said that yesterday, and I couldn't remember what it is called in English. And obviously, I can't remember what it's called. But the spike and chain, I know what you're on about.
Yes. Yeah. That would do some serious damage.
That would be lethal.
That would be lethal.
Do you think, or I don't think it'd be fair if you're allowed in the cage with that?
Sure, we were actually. Sure, did you not see there was have you not seen the thing on YouTube or something? The medieval thing, like they're all. Have you not seen that? I don't know what it is. Some MMA promotion did some like medieval, so they're all like in all the gear, like the big armor and stuff, and the shields and stuff, and they're all whacking each other. So that's been done, mate.
No, the best MMA promotion one. I don't know what the promotion was called. You must have seen it. It was like a 3-on-2, and someone's dressed as like Spider-Man and Batman, and they're all just knocking each other out.
Yeah, I've seen those. Like they like to do 3-on-3 and all. Mate, that's nuts. Because what if you're sitting ground and playing someone, right, and then someone just comes in behind you? It's like a street fight, like a hooligan football fight or something.
Would you get involved if you had the offer?
I probably would be great crack with it, but then again, like, that's madness. Like, come on, I just want me and some other soul in there that I'm gonna take.
Yeah, I think it's best. It's better to have 1-on-1 instead of a 3-on-2 in superhero costumes.
It's not. No, forget the superhero costumes. The wee tight shorts and the near nakedness is what the fans want to see.
There you go. And the Macavelli first round finish. That's all you need.
Oh, well, we swear. Well, that's what I'm saying. I'll say no more. I've been saying what I said it was going to be first round, but if Jordan Denning's watching, and we'll see what happens, sir. But I've got a few tricks up my sleeve for you, boy. I've been watching you well, boy. No, I have like literally like 3 or 4 wee things that I've got, and he's gonna walk into. So when you're studying your opponent, like I think that's a major thing, because when it comes to Jordan, like I've already seen a few wee things that he does that if he hasn't corrected, he's gonna be lying on that canvas, knocked out, mate. Trust me, I'm not joking, because there's a few wee things he does. So And I think if he does that, he's going to walk into one of my shots that I've got prepared for him.
Nice. And if you want to shout anything out, say any sponsor shouting of your mates out, the floor is yours.
Well, basically, you know, I want to give a shout out to my team Torres, and Sebastian, my head coach, and Sean, because what they've done for me is massive. They're basically making me into this complete MMA fighter. I love striking. I love the bang. Like I love the throw hands, but they're basically making me into this complete MMA fighter. So I would love to give a shout out to them. And that's all, because at the end of the day, this is what this is about. This is about the fight game. It's about the fight business. So shout out to Team Torres, and also shout out to my strength and conditioning coach Andre Tweedy with Ignite Fitness. So yeah, shout out to Arsenal.
And I've got to say, I forgot his name, so forgive me. Shout out to your mate whose phone you're using.
Oh, Titchy Smalls. He loved that. But yeah, shout out to Titchy Smalls. Yeah, cheers, Titch.
Cheers.